Thank you. I'm John Knappett. I'm with the Knappett group of companies. We have been in the business of delivering public infrastructure since 1983 in British Columbia. We're a Victoria company with local ownership and offices. We have worked on most of the major sewage systems on Vancouver Island, including the CRD. Recently, we just finished the Trent pump station for the CRD. Major additions and upgrades for the Nanaimo Regional District for their sewage system and the Comox system, the greater Comox Valley system. We also brought a unique technology to BC called upflow sludge blanket technology, or EcoFluid, that we implemented for several systems, including Sun Peak Ski Hill, Kicking Horse Mountain Ski Hill, and Nanoose and Pedder Bay First Nations. Those were design, build, and to a certain extent operate contracts on much smaller systems than we're talking about. But I have several concerns with the procurement models proposed and wish to address some of my concerns. And many of my fellow contractors in the community, and I've spoke with a great deal of them, have identical concerns, and I think you'll be hearing from more of them later. Firstly, I would note this is the largest single construction project, possibly outside the ENN Railway, that I am aware of ever on Vancouver Island. The impacts of the building of this system will be profound on my industry and long-lasting. We are currently undergoing one of those periodic retractions of capital spending that has resulted in large layoffs in the commercial and institutional construction industry, and we in the industry don't see any relief in sight. This project is an important source of possible employment and a possible lifeline for many companies in Greater Victoria. However, there is a real risk that it will instead be a nail in the coffin for many local firms. What we need is access to the work and the opportunity to compete and procure contracts to keep our employees working. My fear is that these projects will become P3s, which are the death knell of regional contractors, or that packages will be of such size and tendering that they will not be available to any but international contractors. A good example of my concerns would be the upgrading of the Sea to Sky Highway. We, as a firm, have built many highways, bridges over the years. We just completed the Bear Mountain Bridge. The major Colwood overpasses were built by our firm, and many on the Island Highway. The Sea to Sky Highway was a P3, all given to one international contractor. He built all the bridges, did all the road work with his own forces and equipment imported from the United States. And we and most of the regional contractors in BC weren't able to source any of that work. That is a huge impact on companies that have been building this province for decades, for 100 years. Of equal concern to me is the engineering work, which, although my firm doesn't do consulting engineering per se, we employ many engineers, but typically in the P3 world, the engineering work on large plants that we're talking about would be given to international consulting firms. The firm that did their last job in France or in Rio de Janeiro will be hired to do the engineering on this job, leaving out the local engineering firms, which, like the regional contractors, are going to wither and die. And connected to them are the universities. The University of British Columbia has an excellent program in environmental engineering and structural engineering, and they rely on for a large part, on local consultants and contractors to hire their graduates. So
you have 1 minute, John.
Pardon?
1 minute. Not
having that work available is a real problem for our industry. I've heard many people talk about the P3 model. I'm very suspicious of it. I think the financial comparators proposed by Partnerships BC are suspicious. I asked Larry Blaine personally in a dinner meeting a couple of years ago why they use the same interest rate for the public model as the private model, and he babbled on about some risk transference, but I don't buy it. I think that is a mandate that's come from Partnerships BC. through the provincial government that I think you need to be very skeptical of those numbers and those comparators.
John, your time's up.
Thank you for listening to me.